John, what do you make of tonight? You must be quite pleased with that performance and result.
Yeah, really pleased. Obviously, the result was the most important thing, but like you said, the performance, I think the performance was excellent, and especially going 1-0 down against the run of play, I thought we'd had some really good chances in the first 15 minutes that we didn't manage to put away. So to come back into it with a pretty young side and lads that came into the game without playing a huge amount with each other. There's loads of players that are just forming new partnerships there, so to come in and do that, really pleased. I mean, the second half I thought we were excellent and thoroughly deserved the win.
Just to drill down into those details of the performance, what pleased you the most tonight?
Well, first of all, the most important thing was the work rate and the ability to press, and Forest Green play some really good football, and I think that's obviously the reason they've brought the manager in to play that style of football coming from Southampton's development squad, and they've done that really well in the short time that he's had, I think, with the squad. I thought we pressed really well. I thought we were positive in terms of the way that we passed the ball and moved it, and we created a fair amount of chances. So a lot of really pleasing things, I think, when we come off it overall. And ultimately, one of the things I am really pleased with as well is some of the performances from some of the young lads there. We've got some teenagers playing out there, and that's just really good to be able to stand up in men's football and do that.
Yeah, one of those young lads, Terry Devlin, made his full EFL debut. What did you make of his contribution? How pleased are you with him tonight?
Yeah, I mean, Terry doesn't stop running, and he's physically puts himself about, and for a lad who's coming in from Northern Ireland at 19 to make his full debut and play as well as he did, I just thought he was excellent. I'm really pleased for him. So we've got a 19-year-old in Terry playing. We've got Abu, I think he's just turned 20, playing out on the right. Again, making his full debut. He's played a couple of times in the Championship, but off the bench. Really mature performances from both of them, I thought.
And Cassini Yengi, 2 goals for him tonight. That's 3 and 2. Sorry. What do you put his recent form down to?
I think a lot of it is the fact that we knew what we could get from Cass. Probably surprised us a bit at the weekend with how good that header was. That's a part of his game that we're really trying to develop. And even today, I think it was him in the first half, the corner where he's got up and the keeper's made a really unbelievable save. So he's added that to his game. What do I put his form down to? The fact he's a good player. We all knew that about bringing him in, and we're creating chances for him as well, and which is really pleasing. And when we did create those chances, there were a couple in the first half. I think he'll be disappointed that didn't go in the back of the net, but that happens with centre forwards. And to take his penalty as well as emphatically as he did, and come off with a brace. Again, really pleased for him to come over, and his first sort of 4 or 5 days in competitive football in this country have been really successful.
As I said, that's 3 and 2 for him. He'll be on a real high right now, but what's the message from you to him moving forward?
Ride a bit of that high, I think. Keep working hard and keep making sure that you do the right things to push yourself along physically and tactically and technically, making sure that he does all the right things. But I think sometimes we're probably a bit quick in football to dampen down positives, and I think he should just keep going, keep with that confident streak. He's just been a real breath of fresh air since he's come in, and we've got now 3 centre forwards really competing and making life difficult in terms of team selection.
And a debut for Alex Robertson. We saw a glimpse of him in the second half. What did you make of him?
I thought we saw some really nice touches and some explosive sort of movement from Alex. A couple of things. The one that springs to mind is when he slid Colby in. There were a couple of other bits where I thought he was very neat and tidy on the ball, but also just showed that he wanted to be positive and pass the ball forward. So again, another one where in this country Alex is making his debut in competitive action to come on under difficult enough circumstances when there's still a lot of pressure on the game. And we were taking this game very seriously in terms of wanting to win it and wanting to be in the hat for the next round. For him to come in and do that on very short notice, not knowing what the squad's about, not knowing what the side's about, I was really impressed. And
a senior debut for Kobe Motto as well. You must remember how it felt when you made your senior debut. So how will he be feeling tonight?
Yeah, so I made my senior debut, and I think in the Johnson's Paint Trophy, whatever it was back then, I think it was the LDV. So I made my senior debut at 19, and I thought that the pace of the game was incredibly quick, and it took me a long time to adjust to that. Kobe's done that tonight at 16, and I thought he looked excellent. I thought he looked like he deserved a place there, and that's why we brought him along tonight, because he did thoroughly deserve his place there. It was because of his performance at the weekend with the academy, where he was involved in 4 of the 6 goals, and he just that was the best thing for him. It wasn't, we could chucking you on to get a bit of experience. We were putting him on because he deserved to be there, and I think I was really pleasantly surprised at how good he was. I think he came with us for a couple of the pre-season games and wasn't quite up to the level, but he's obviously worked really hard in the last 2 or 3 weeks to get himself there, physically as well, to compete with some lads who have been pros for a number of years. Just brilliant for him. And how do you feel when you make your debut just on cloud nine? No one can take that away from him, and the challenge for him now is to go and have a really, really successful career, a lot better than mine anyway.
And 11 minutes of added time at the end. What was it like when you saw the fourth put the board up for that, and how pleased are you with the way your side saw out the game as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing that I've been pushing for. I think there's a real fine balance between putting up that much time but also trying to hurry the game along at points as well, because we do want to have that time played, but I don't necessarily know where 11 came from, but again, we can't pick and choose if that's something we want, and I think it will benefit us when we play at home especially. Then that's something we take. When you 3-1 up, when 11 minutes gets put up, it's such a long part of the game, but we saw the game out really well. We've picked out a lot of the youngsters there, but there were some excellent performances from some of our senior lads as well, and really pleased with that.